Hi. So, how do you find yourself in front of a mirror? Sometimes we find ourselves to be beautiful, sometimes not beautiful. So, someone has rightly said there is often a vicious circle. The more a person focuses on his or her body, the worse he tends to feel how he looks. Obsession breeds discontent. We all human beings are fallible to the lure of perfect bodies, as idealized by our society. We tend to make comparisons with these unattainable and desirable bodies. Media and advertising agencies, through their seductive and alluring messages, act as a conduit for spreading such beliefs. Don't you agree to that? All this sets the standards for physical attractiveness. Our mind gets conditioned by established social norms. And the continuous bad body talks like I'm fat, I hate my flabby thighs, I'm obese, so nobody likes me, etc., etc., etc. All this reinforces an unending focus on comparisons and appearances. And people are dragged down into the whirlpool of negativity, especially those who have physical disabilities or any kind of deformities, disfigurement. Deformities, amputations, awkward gait, and stuttering speech. These all might bring varied reactions of people since such bodies are not considered as norm. Consequently, fear and shame creep into the personalities of persons with disabilities. They rarely get positive feedback about their bodies and appearances. The caregivers and the attendants might keep on reminding them of their body shapes, sizes, and weights through their adverse comments. Though many times such comments may be unintentional, but people with disabilities or impairment or disfigurement, they do get such comments in subtle ways. The probability of developing eating disorders in persons with disabilities thus get exponentially high. Physical weaknesses might also accompany body disconnection and a sense of shame for it. For example, a wheelchair user or those who have to be lifted by the caregivers or those who walk with the help of crutches might want to become lighter and easier to be lifted. The same is with me. So, in that attempt, they might develop anorexia nervosa. So, what is anorexia nervosa? Anorexia nervosa is a kind of a syndrome or a disorder in which an individual tries to have low weight. The person develops a fear of fatness, and there is an unending pursuit of thinness. In this disorder, the weight is maintained 50% below the body mass index, which we call as BMI. And BMI is calculated as weight in kilograms divided by the height in meters squared. You must have heard of BMI. The regimen of weight loss is carried on by avoiding food, almost to the level of starvation, excessive exercising and self-induced purging by using laxatives and vomiting the food out. So when there is significant disturbance of body esteem, individuals may find it a way to have control over their bodies by losing weight. Complexes due to the physical disabilities can lead to poor self-esteem and depression. So weight loss in that scenario can be taken as a positive achievement by the individual. It can provide a kind of reinforcement. But the person doesn't realize that the consequences of poor nutrition can be disastrous. The disorder can lead to endocrine disorders, which can affect fertility in women and sexual drive of men. Anorexia can lead to suppression of reproductive hormones. At the young age, growth can be stunted. Starvation can cause musculoskeletal weakness and loss of muscle mass, which can prove ruinous for all those who already have less muscle power. And quality of life, which already has been affected by disability, can further get deteriorated due to distress and emotional disturbances. They can be mood swings. One might stop leisure time activities. Educational goals might be interrupted, and a person can absolutely lose personal autonomy. How dangerous is this? And another eating disorder, known as bulimia nervosa, can also develop in people with disabilities. It is characterized by binge or excessive eating and purging out, both occurring alternatively. There is self-induced vomiting and excessive exercises, along with the misuse of laxatives. And all this also leads to adverse physical consequences. Bulimia can cause personality problems in an individual. One may develop avoidant behavior. Disability often leads to a sense of isolation. Persons with disabilities might feel lonely and could develop a feeling of that nobody understands them. They might regard themselves unworthy and inferior. There is a hidden need to be loved, needed, and accepted. Binge eating or dieting can give them a sense of euphoria after having an extreme control over their bodies, which otherwise are regarded as different and so unaccepted. We have a society which gives so much importance to material success. Persons with disabilities lack appearance and achievement-oriented qualities. They are not up to the mark with that cultural ideal, which is regarded as norm. Thus, they try to get themselves noticed in any way. They struggle to get self-image by controlling their weights, but in a wrong way, and all the more increasing their problems and agonies. How unfortunate. Treatment of such eating disorders, first of all, requires a clear-cut shift in the attitude of how disability is viewed. One of the steps is to reduce that sense of shame as far as the body image is concerned. We all need to improve our body image, have a positive body image in any way. Friends and families need to avoid commenting on the difficulties involved in lifting them from wheelchair or on their little movements. Otherwise, they feel low, they feel challenged. Persons with disabilities need to understand that apart from physical appearances, their emotional appearances also do matter. The way you talk, the kind of words you use, also have an ability to attract others. Though emotional appearances is not easily visible, but it can still be exhibited to those who listen. Don't just think of appearance, just focus on how you can influence people, influence others. Don't degrade yourself. Don't weigh your self-esteem. Love yourself and the real you.